Good morning, dear students of class XAVIER'S. The subject I am teaching history. Last class I discussed with you rise of fascism, and today we will discuss, and I hope I discuss what actually discontentment and dissatisfaction of the Treaty of Versailles led to Mussolini rise to power. Today we are going to discuss rise of fascism in Italy. The period 1992 1939, because 39 Second World War started. As today especially I focus on this point, the event which brought Mussolini to power from the election of 1921 to the march on Rome in October 1922. Very important part that after First World War, when the situation was quite tense in both Italy and Germany, but Italy as a part of victor and Germany loser girl. So naturally, as a part of victor, she was not happy. According to promise, she did not receive number of territories, and that is not only that, in an economic odd situation, parliamentary democracy failed to satisfy the Italian people. That all relate to Mussolini rise to power. Mussolini founded fascist party in Italy in 1919. Fascist, the word came from FSCS. Fascist means a bundle of rods with protruding X, means it proved the meaning of Roman authority and especially power and authority. Try to understand very carefully. When all situation, dissatisfaction of the Treaty of Versailles paved the way Mussolini to rise to power, it was in 1921, election was held in Italian Parliament. The time Prime Minister of Italy was Mr. Giolitti, and he wanted to support fascists for first time because he believed if fascists, along with fascists, if fascists contest the election and they want, they especially many seats if they occupy, and it is easy for him to form the government in Italian Parliament. Therefore, Prime Minister Giolitti, he, along with the fascists, he wanted to form the government. But look at the background. The time we're talking, in Italian Parliament there is a minimum 9 political parties are there. Especially communist and socialist relation was not good. Communist, socialists did not like to especially support communist. And fascist, and even most important part what is that, all opposition party, they did not actually planning to cooperate themselves to out fascists from the parliament. If they did, it was possible for them to keep fascists out, but they are not standing together. They are not joining hands together to keep fascists out of the parliament. And Prime Minister Giolitti, on the other hand, he wanted to support the fascists because it was actually, he thought, if he bring fascists inside the parliament, they will be polite, they won't disturb even lawlessness, they won't break the laws. And naturally, day by day it was increasing number of fascists in Italy. That hope he wanted to conduct the election. Finally, election was held 1921, month of, it was May election held 1921, and result was not appreciating. Actually, fascists got only 35 seats in the parliament. And therefore, it was difficult for Giolitti to form the government because socialists decided not to join hand with the Giolitti's nationalist party because of he was supporting fascists. That is why they are very angry. They did not like to support Giolitti's government. So therefore, what happened? It is difficult. You can understand now. At the time when they got 35 seats, fascists got in the election. Result of election. 35 seats, and we want carry. Socialist won 123 margin leaderships. It is the maximum number. But Giolitti Prime Minister, he supporting fascist, and socialist, they are anti-fascist. They did not like to support. Naturally, Giolitti not receiving any help from socialist political party. If he can join the socialist party, they can form government easily. 123 seats, they can form the government. As fascists got very less seats, and socialists not refused to cooperate with the Giolitti Nationalist Party as the supporting fascist, so he resigned in despair. It was not possible to form the government. And socialists did not like to cooperate with the communists. So what happened? In meantime, he resigned. He gave resignation letter, Giolitti, and socialists, they call a general strike. In this situation, they call a general strike. And this general strike, calling of general strike, month of summer, they call the general strike. And this general strike advantage taken by the, especially fascists. They say, if especially socialists fail to cope the situation of the general strike, they will crash it. So naturally what happened? Due to the lack of support, general strike, it was, especially if people were not supporting, and it was the advantage for the fascist. And Mussolini, with nearly 50,000 black shirts, because Mussolini's followers, they wear black colored dress, they call black shirts, and Hitler's called brown shirts. So naturally they marched towards Rome, Italian capital Rome, and that time the Victor Emmanuel was the king of Italy. And Victor Emmanuel, after resignation of the Giolitti, new prime minister who succeeded him, he was Louis de Factor. He wanted to resist fascist motive, but it was very difficult. Why? But King Victor Emmanuel, he did not like to resist them because he knew the situation. Because he know inside army, instead of him, they will support Mussolini and Mussolini's fascist party. That is why he welcomed Mussolini to come to Rome and to sit in power. And that is why he became the first premier in the history of the world history, the fascist premier. So you have to study very carefully. You can do the headline wise, like you first can write election of 1929, then you write the way I discussed with you, that the opposition, they failed to especially join hands together to keep fascists out, and Prime Minister Giolitti declared the election held in May 29, and along with Giolitti's political party, it was Nationalist Party, Socialist, Communist, Fascist, they all participated in the election, but Giolitti hoped to especially bring fascists inside the parliament, because he hoped might be if election contest, fascists will get number of seats, but it has not happened. Then you have to write next headline, result of the election. You do headline and explanation, result of election. Then you write, fascists won only 35 seats, at the same time, socialists won 123 seats. But socialists refused to cooperate with the Giolitti's Nationalist Party to form a government as he supported the fascist. Therefore, Giolitti resigned in despair. He gave resignation letter. And after resignation letter, as socialists not compromising with any other political party, so the situation was quite tense, and new prime minister, they became socialist, that is Louis de Factor. And finally, socialists, especially, they called for the general strike. Then you do general strike called by socialist. And because they want to take advantage of the situation, that's why they call the general strike. But in this situation, fascists also oppositically they took advantage. They said, if general strike failed, called by the socialists, they will crash it and they will march towards Rome. It was happened, general strike failed due to the lack of cooperation of the participation. People not participated. Then finally, you have to write the next headline, very important headline, March on Rome in October 1922. Then Mussolini with his 50,000 black shirt marched towards Rome to capture the power. Louis de Facto, Prime Minister, actually decided to resist, but Victor Emmanuel, who was the king of Italy, He wanted to welcome Mussolini. He called him to come to Rome and to specially in that way Mussolini became rise into the power. What is mentioned, rise of fascism, Mussolini rise in power, and he became the first fascist premier in the history. We will study very carefully step by step, headline write down and do the explanation. So previous class, once again I am repeating dear student, we already discussed section B, world history, first chapter that is causes of the First World War. Whatever I mentioned, you have to study very systematically. Like I discussed aggressive nationalism, formation of alliances, and third one armament race, and the fourth one imperial rivalry. You have to very study. And immediate cause you have to study separately is Sarajevo crisis. Then we discussed last class, that is a Balkan Wars, two Balkan wars. This also spreading causes actually Balkan War. There is one question, how did the two Balkan wars link with the First World War? This could come. So you have to study like that way, two Balkan War along with the result, you have to study carefully. Today, even I discuss one more point I remember from First World War chapter, the first chapter, that is a causes for the defeat of the Central Powers. Why Germany, Austria, Hungary, they defeated at the hands of the triple intent, Britain, France and Russia. Minimum 3 points study very carefully. And today I discuss with you, that is the chapter, you check very carefully, it is an interlinked chapter, that's why immediately according to syllabus the next chapter, which is, that is the depression and the, for America we have not discussed because it is a linking chapter, rise of fascism, I think it is given your 11th chapter according to a syllabus book. The rise of fascism in Italy 1939, the events which brought Mussolini to power from the election of 1921 to the March of Rome in October 1922. So study well, and this is the one question. Just we put the discuss the main events that led to the last conclusion. So this study very carefully. Next class we discuss the domestic policy of Mussolini. Thank you.